Alright, in this tutorial we're gonna learn how to create point, line, polygon features from scratch in GIS environment. We will also learn how to edit features, how to edit values in the attribute table, and finally how we can create and edit metadata for our created feature classes. The process of creating features like point, line, polygons from a scanned map is called digitizing. Digitizing starts with a hard copy or a scanned map, then we georeference it, and finally we trace over the features in the georeferenced map or photo and then capture important notes. First, let's start to create feature classes in Geodatabase. So from catalog or from here, first we need to connect to lab 9 folder. So right click, connect to folder, and then click to lab 9 folder, GIS labs, lab 9, okay. And right click on this folder and then create a file geodatabase. So right click, new, and file geodatabase. So we have two type of geodatabase in ArcGIS: file geodatabase and personal geodatabase. File geodatabase has higher capabilities compared to the personal geodatabase, and geodatabase is a database for spatial data. We can use it, use its abilities to store, manipulate, and query in an organized way. So let's select file geodatabase with the name of BW_GDB geodatabase. And so we're gonna create a feature data set within this geodatabase. And a feature data set is a collection of related feature classes that share a common coordinate system. So if you right click on the geodatabase, new, and then feature data set, so here I can call it BW_FDS or feature data set, and then click next. So here you have to define the coordinate system for all of the features that are within the feature data set. So for us is within projected coordinate system, UTM, WGS 84, Northern Hemisphere, and Zone 17N for Cleveland. And then next. So we don't need the vertical coordinate system. We don't have elevation information. So click next and accept the tolerance, the automatic tolerance created by the ARC catalog. So click finish. So you can see that within the geodatabase we created a feature dataset, which is a collection of feature classes. So we're gonna create 3 different feature classes within feature dataset: point, line, and polygon feature classes. Right click on the BW_feature dataset, new, and then feature class. So the first feature class we're gonna create is the point features or trees in the campus. So I call it BW_tree, and with the data type of point feature. So we don't need to store route data or 3D data, so leave it unchecked and then click next. So here we accept the default value to store the parameters for the new feature class. So click next. Here you can add field to your feature class, to your shapefile. For example, I can add a field with the name of description with the data type of text, and then I can click finish. So what happens? So a new feature class within the feature dataset is going to be created, and this one is an empty feature class. We need to populate it. So we can see that BW3 has been created, and if you open up the attribute table, you can see that it doesn't contain any features, any records. So we have 2 fields which are mandatory, and object ID and shape. we created this description field, and if you right click and then properties, you can see that the data type is string or text. So we have to repeat this process, and we're gonna create line feature for the roads and polygon feature for the buildings in the campus. So from catalog, right click on the feature data set, new feature class with the name of BW underscore roads. Definitely it should be a line feature, so leave it unchecked. Next, here the field name description, the data type of text or a string, and then click finish. So what happens, a line feature has been created. Right click on the BW roads, it's empty, so we created the description, and also Geodatabase automatically created a new field with the name of lengths, shape lengths, which automatically when we create when we digitize the roads, we will see that it automatically calculates the lengths of the roads. So close it, and then we need to add the polygon feature for the buildings. So right click new feature class with the name of BW underscore building with the data type of polygon feature. Next, description, text, and finish. Open up the attribute table, empty. These two are mandatory, this is just we created, and these two fields automatically generated in the Geodatabase. So this one is for the length of the polygon or perimeter of the polygon, and this one is the area of the polygon. So when we create a polygon, it automatically generates the length and also the area for each polygon. Before we start digitizing, let's change the symbol. For example, for this one, let's change this to, let's search in the database and select a good symbol. So let me select this one, 3 underscore deciduous, and decrease the size. For the roads, maybe this one. Okay, for the building, let me see whether we have anything interesting in the building. So we have these buildings, so which one? Maybe this one. No, this one. Okay, so the next step is that we have to also add the georeferenced map to trace over the georeferenced map to create the features. So let's add the data for the previous lab, which was lab number 8. We georeferenced the map, right? So let's connect to lab number 8 and add the georeferenced map. To see the map, right click, zoom to layer, and here you can see, so this is georeferenced map because when I added this image, I didn't get the error of the unknown spatial reference. And if I and also look at the values, they are based on meters and changing, so 6 digit and 7 digit, so it's because of the UTM projection. And also if I use a ruler and then measure the size of the study area, here should be about 500. So yes, the length is 570, and here is about 300. So that's so this is a georeferenced map. So the tool that is used to for digitizing or editing the features or editing the attribute table is editor toolbar. So from customize menu, toolbar, and then you can select editor here, or you can easily right click on this gray space and then select editor. So here From editor toolbar, select start editing, and here if you go to the create feature, the last one, so here you have to select the target feature. So for example, we're gonna digitize the campus roads. So again, we have to select the roads with the data type, with the construction tool line, and then I start from here. I select the middle of the road. You can see that your pointer became like a crosshair. So let's start from here, and then so just select the middle of the road. If you made a mistake, just you can easily click on Control Z. For example, this one is mistake. You can click on Control Z and back to the previous location. And then so this is the end of this road. Okay, so put a point and then right click and then select Finish Sketch. So what happened? So we digitize this road, and if you click on Clear Selection, and if you open up this attribute table of the roads, you can see that one feature has been created, line number 1. And here you can also change the description for it. You can, for example, if you know the name of it, so you can see that I can't change it because editor is on. Otherwise I couldn't make any change on the values in the attribute table. So for example, this one is Bagley. So this is how you can create a feature in the ArcMap. And also you can see that automatically generated the lengths is about 500 meter, right? So which is the length of this road, above Bagley Road, for this part, which is true. So this is because of the abilities of the Geodatabase. So let's add, for example, this road, which is, I think, Front Street. So when you are close to this road, you can see that it snaps or jumps to this point. So this is because of the snapping to avoid the overshoot and undershoot problem. So select the first point and then select the middle of the road. You can zoom in if you wanna be more accurate, and then put a point here. And when you're done with this road, right click and Finish Sketch, and Clear Selection. Open up the attribute table. You can see another feature created. Here you can change this to Front Street. Okay, so you have to digitize all of the roads in the campus. So the next thing is we're gonna digitize some buildings in campus, and then ArcGIS will automatically generate the area and also the perimeter of the building. For example, let's select which one? This one is Reader Library. Okay, so we're gonna select this part. So so you have to first select the building in the target and also polygon, and you should start, so your pointer turns to a crosshair. Put a point here and then put the second point here, 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 and then so this one should be here. Is this part of the building? No. So you can click on Control Z. So this is the shadow of the building. So let me just select the building. So now we are done. So right click and then Finish Sketch. and then clear selection. This is how we digitize this reader library. So if you open up the attribute table of it, and here you can change this to reader, and then the shape lengths, which is the perimeter of the library, and also the area based on a square meter. So you can see that automatically generated the area. So you have to digitize the buildings in campus in this map one by one. And the last thing for the tree, maybe you have to select just the trees and then the point, and then select some of the trees in campus. For example, here we have a tree, just put a point, very easy. So you can see that you can easily, and they are very gorgeous symbol. So very easy, you can digitize the trees in campus. So that's how we can digitize and also create the feature in ArcGIS from scratch. So you can see that you can put a name for the rows, you can put a name for the buildings if you know the name, and so this is how we can generate the shapefile from scratch. So when you're done with the digitizing, you have to digitize the features, point line, polygon features in this map. When you're done, you have to save your work from editor and then stop editing. And here, do you want to save your edits? Yes. Click yes. And now if you open up the attribute table, you have created one feature. This is the length, this is the area. But now you cannot change the value for this. For example, I cannot change this. If I want to change this, I have to start editing, and then I will be able to change this value. So some other tips, how can I remove, for example, I want to remove this tree, or I want to remove a line. How can I do that? So just start editing, editor, start editing. From this toolbar, you have to select edit tool, and from edit tool you are able to select features. For example, I can select this one, okay, and then in your keyboard just push the delete button, and then you can see that it will be deleted. So the next question, how can I move this? Just from edit tool select this feature, and then you can move it to other areas. Or for example, you can move this line to other location. If you did something wrong, just click just use Ctrl+Z. So this is how we can generate GIS data from scratch from hard copy map. Remember, georeferencing is necessary, otherwise the whole process is wrong and they won't line up with reality. After you're done with digitizing all of the campus features, you can make a map. So go to the layout view and then add the north arrow, scale bar, all of the elements, and make a map of the BW campus. And finally, metadata. And metadata is information about data, or data about data, and is the third component of GIS. We had attribute component, spatial component, and the third one is metadata. And to create metadata, you need to go to the Arc catalog, and Arc catalog is another module in ArcGIS Desktop. So far we only have worked with Arc map, but this one is Arc catalog, and if you search Arc catalog, this icon is used for data management and metadata creation and edit of the metadata. So save your edit. When you're happy with this map, you have to save your edit after you digitize all of the campus features. Then you have to close the Arc map and then open the Arc catalog. So we're gonna create metadata or documentation for our data. So here is lab 9. Here is our geodatabase. So in this file, in the geodatabase, if you go to the description tab, So here you can see the metadata. Here is the location of the metadata. So you can, if you click on edit, so you can provide a title for your data, tag, a summary of the data, the purpose of the data, for example, digitizing the Bida Baldwin Wallace campus features, because we don't have the information of the buildings or the roads or the, I don't know, the trees. We don't have the shapefile for this, so maybe that's the purpose of this study. And also credit, and also map projection, UTM, zone 17, and WGS 84 as a datum, if there is any limitation, and so forth. And after we provide this information, we save it, and people can use it. People can see your metadata and will notice the accuracy of your work, the purpose of the data, when you created the data, where is the location refers to, and so many other information.